great.
Welcome to
It's Fixed.
Blingham Young, the official, the show formerly known as the fan-controlled show, the official companion show to fan-controlled sports and entertainment, the multi-sport empire that is controlled entirely by you, the fans, and sometimes technical difficulties influence it in some way as well.
Yes.
I'm Jeff 211 Canada, and I am joined by some of my favorite people on the planet. It's Josh McCouga, it's Patrick Dees, and it's the commissioner of fan-controlled football, Ray Austin. Welcome, fellas.
Jeff,
we're here. We're doing it.
Well, here's the thing. We're going to be on the front page, on the front carousel here at Twitch in a little bit, like in 12 minutes, doing the fan control show because we're using Guest Star, the new Twitch companion, where we are all joining the show via Guest Star. This is hashtag Guest Star Week on Twitch.tv. And we're using this service because it's pretty awesome. I mean,
it's flawless.
It took a while for us to make it work, Jeff.
Flawless.
But we got there.
Well, and big thanks to our friends at Twitch for letting us get into this beta program super early, test it out, and all this stuff. I think it'll be cool with our guests. Obviously, it's a big departure from how we usually do it, but I don't know. You guys look and sound great to me. Thank you, Twitch.
As Ray knows, you start at co-star. Yeah, and you move up to guest star.
You get the principal. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You get the credit.
Okay. That's
right. Credit where they're still walking and talking, trying to figure out the scene.
That's right. Now we're guest star level, baby. That's where the money starts rolling in. Guest star.
Or if you get cast in Plasterhead, you start as the star. I don't know who did that, but I mean, it's
I don't even know what that is.
Hey, we got a big show for you. We got a big show. As Josh said, we're going to be on the front page of Twitch. So I think there's going to be some new folks joining us, finding out about the league. So we're going to tell you a little bit about the leagues, plural, as they're coming up. As you know, because who are talking to now in the remaining 8 minutes that we have until the rest of the world finds out about us. You know what's up. You know that you can name the show. You know that every week it's fan controlled. We pick our favorite potential titles for what next week's show should be called, and you vote on them. You decide at the end of the show. I'll probably be mentioning that again when more folks join us. But you also know. Well, let's just wait and say this when we hit the front page, right, Josh?
Yeah, sure. Why not, Jeff?
All right.
You were doing a heck of a job. I didn't want to stop you. It was going so well, and
there's a lot of news that we're going to get to very soon. We got an awesome guest, one of our favorite fan-controlled football stars, joining us first, and then we have a brand new member of the fan-controlled family. Going to tell us about some of the gamification stuff in the league that I'm super excited about.
Jeff, I saw you posting some I don't know, weird shields and goals and stuff on Twitter. I sometimes I don't know anything that you're tweeting. Sometimes I know most of what you're tweeting. When you tweet the video game stuff, I'm like, it seems like he's doing well. I don't know what it is, but it seems like he's doing well.
He came to life. Good for him. There's a little Venn diagram of the things that you get and the things that you have no clue, and there's zero. Zero.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah. I thought Josh was the big star of this crew, but it's I guess it's you. I see that.
Thanks, Jeff.
Yeah. I pulled you up, buddy. I pulled you up.
I'll take it.
I looked at you with Wikipedia, okay?
It's not P to the deed. You sure it's not P to the deed, FCSE?
Who is that guy? Dude, guys, you have no idea. In the 30 minutes prior to us going live, the frantic, just screaming, frenzy to create new accounts and all this stuff. We got it working. We're here live. It wasn't pretty, especially for these fat fingers. So I'm P to the deeds. Just go ahead and shout that out the rest of the show.
I think it's just P to the deed. It's one single deed.
Correct. I'm the commish off controlled.
You're the off and controlled.
I said he's the commies Hoffen controlled.
One of my favorite things about the organization is the attention to detail. You know what I mean? When we really sweat the little things.
Yeah. Well, you know why I'm Kanata Jeff on Twitch?
Because Beef Kanata was taken.
I'm so old. I'm so old that I had Jeff Kanata as a Justin.tv account.
Yeah, you did.
Oh.
And I don't know if you guys
Yeah, you
know this,
did.
but if you had a Justin.tv account, you can't have the same name on Twitch.
Oh.
I really
Yeah.
thought somebody got it to it first. They're like, quick, I'm Jeff Kanata. And they're like, in my head canon, somebody squatted on your name and asked
Well,
for
there
10
is-
grand. And you're like, I'll show you. I'll just reverse the two.
There is a musician of note, of some note, named Jeff Kanata. He is a like a synth musician, like a sort of like a Yanni type.
Yeah.
And
I've been
evidently,
listening to him for years. I've listened to him for years. When you and I went to go get lunch for the first time, I thought he was who was showing up. I was really disappointed and very confused.
you've just been this entire working relationship has just been you unwilling to say you got the wrong Jeff Kanata this whole day. It's just
right. I just
so
ran with it.
awkward.
It's
I
funny.
started listening to
It's
your
funny.
podcast on the walk home. I'm like, I'm excited to listen to this stuff. Yes.
It's
Wait a
funny
second,
because
wait a second.
I'm the I guess you could say the third famous Ray Austin. I thought I'd be the first, and I was just like, wow, okay. So it's a director that's done a ton of shit, and
Okay.
and then there's the boxer. Then a lot of people
Oh yeah.
mistake me as the boxer sometimes because they say Ray Austin.
Oh, yeah.
and then there's me. So
I
And there's
think you get confused mostly for Cuba Gooding Jr.
yes, and then if you go to Cuba Gooding Jr.'s with pictures of me accidentally or whatever.
That would have been the best if you shut up with that as your new Twitch name today. Like, show me the money,
Yes.
1, 2, 3. You know?
Oh man.
You should have. You know
no,
what, days you should have went with Prince Harry 1, 2, 3. That would have worked too. So.
It's Harry.
Oh,
That's good.
It was my dude. It is what a godsend for somebody who until very recently hated Halloween. But Halloween, my costume was so easy. I would get a Burger King crown, I'd put it right here, and I would wear a blazer and undo a tie a little bit. And I went to Prince Harry for like 8 Halloweens. It crushed. As a single
Yes.
guy, I did very well as Prince Halloween at Prince Harry and Halloween parties. It was great.
Yeah.
Gotta
pretty
lean
good.
into it.
Oh man. Man, that's a
But
good
Cougar,
one.
did you have like a
That's really
go-to Halloween costume?
No, I tried to be creative every year and it always failed miserably, mostly because I got too intoxicated to really care about my costume and it just kind of fell apart. And I was like,
I feel like you would be such
I'm good.
such a costume guy. I feel like you'd be all with your blazers. I feel like you'd be Mr. Costume.
And yeah, but see, the blazers are more of a style, Jeff. They're not a costume. Okay.
I see.
Oh,
They
that's your
are-
style. Oh,
your style.
They're a choice.
Before I had the beard, for years I didn't have the beard, and my last minute Halloween costume when it's like, oh, I'm not doing anything for Halloween, and then somebody calls like, we're doing that thing, and like, I got to scramble. Mine would always be, I had a Superman T-shirt, and then I wore the white button up like halfway open over it, and the tie like askew, you know, and the
Strong.
glasses, so you're like
Yeah.
mid conversion into Superman, you know.
when I get bored and
Transition.
I don't want to go shop or anything. I'll just be the black guy in Ghostbusters and just put like a wig on and overall. Everybody knows who I am.
That's
Immediately.
amazing.
They're like dude in Ghostbusters. Yep.
Ray?
Ruthless Kitty.
His
in the
name's
chat.
Ray, isn't it?
No, that's Dan
No.
Aykroyd's name is Ray.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dan
Ruthless
Aykroyd.
Kitty in the chat said she just Googled Jeff Kanata and it came up with Jeff Kanata, theater performer. Which
Well,
is,
that's
That's
goes
that's
with
not good.
That's-
Ruthless Cutie, not
about right.
doing me any favors right now. Not doing me any favors. All right. Well, we still got a couple minutes before we're featured, right, guys? We're just vamping
Yeah,
until
but-
then. What are we doing, Josh?
Well, we can listen. We're having Andrew Jamiel's coming on. We're going to talk a little bit about that XFL draft. A lot of our players were drafted into the XFL, which, hey, keep playing football. Get ready for season 3 of Fan Control Football. Get on the XFL. Earn that rock money before he
That
stops
money.
spending it.
Get that
bag.
money.
Get the bag.
Yeah.
And so Andrew Jamiel is going to come on and talk about that. I mean, he's reunited with DeAndre Francois in Orlando.
That's
So
exciting.
we'll get to talking about that.
yeah.
We do have a tryout coming up here in a few weeks in Los Angeles, that weekend of the 10th and 11th in December. So that'll be only football in Los Angeles. We've postponed the basketball tryout in Los Angeles. Also, if you watch during the week, you've got Don't Cause a Ruckus on Wednesday nights at 6 p.m. Pacific. You've got the Info Arcade on Tuesday. They are also podcast form on the FCTV podcast network. You can get that on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, along with Fan Controlled Fandom with our buddy Kenny G. Stevenson. And this week released the first episode of Freddie Stat Go with Freddie Airmail and Kyle Stathead Sheraton, which you can listen to there as they break down all kinds of crazy stats in the FCF, soon to be FCH, as well as other stats around like just how many donuts they think Josh McCouga can eat based solely on the amount of yards the Pittsburgh Steelers will pick up in a Sunday contest. Stuff like that. Anything is possible there, Jeffrey Kanata. And we've got all kinds of fun stuff today. Eric Casillas, our head of gaming, is coming in a little bit later. We're going to play some trivia. It's all kinds of fun. But we can bring in Andrew Jamiel right now if we want to.
Let's do it. Let's bring him in. I mean, is he here? Is he ready to rock?
He's here, I believe. Jim, I don't know how this works and how you kick people out or whatever, but I think
I will see you guys in just a few. Tell AJ we'll see him when he comes for season 3.
So that means that that D's has to step out, right? Because there can be only one incredibly successful sport person on the show at any given. No, I'm sorry, that was ridiculous.
I'll leave.
Let's bring in one of the stars, one of the banner stars for fan controlled football.
Let's go.
It's Andrew Jamiel, one of our favorites. What's up, AJ?
What's up, fellas? Good to be back.
Jersey's behind him. Look at that. He's got his Zappers jersey. He's got his Beast jersey. Look at that. Sick.
Dude, I talked to you today, man, and I talked to you today. I couldn't have been happier for you, man. So just tell everybody how you feeling right now.
I'm feeling great, man. I mean, whole journey that, the last couple of years since I've been out of college, it's been long, a lot of positives, negatives, ups, downs, a lot of things I can't control, things I can't control. So, now that I got a shot in the XFL, I'm super excited, super blessed. And I don't know if you saw, a lot of my teammates in Orlando are a lot of FCF guys.
Yes. Yeah.
You got Francois.
Well, I mean,
DeAndre, you and DeAndre are back together again. How's that feel?
Pulled it off, man. That's great. It's great.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's crazy. I used to watch him on TV. Then I met him. We ended up playing in season 1 together. Couldn't pull it off for season 2, but now, now we're back together again. So, it all happens for a reason.
So that sounds like a setup to me, because I know when certain quarterbacks or certain people come on certain teams, coaches ask other players like, yo, who should we go after? And so did any of that happen?
Of course. Yeah, he and I have been talking for a while, and he and I just have a connection on the field, and he's really receiver friendly. He likes smart receivers. He plays at a super high level, and I see what he's seeing, and he sees what I see. So he had told me he was trying to put in a word, and it's rightfully so. He said the only reason he's doing it is because he trusts me and he knows I make plays for him, and he just wants to win. So I'm super excited, man.
It sounds to me like the setup for a rom-com. They were together, and then in the second act they were pulled apart by forces beyond their control, and now back together again.
It's kind of how it went.
I love it.
One was a smart receiver. The other one loved smart receivers. This spring in Orlando, Jamiel Francois 3.0. Yeah.
Broke us up.
That's right.
Those damn bored apes.
What do you look forward to from now to then? Like, what are you going to be doing to prepare yourself? What is all like? What's on your calendar right now?
Just gonna go harder than ever. Not only get my body right, that's a given, but get my mind right. I gotta get ready for to really just go as hard as I can for those 4 months in season, and I from now until when I go to camp, 5 days a week, lifting, running, yoga, stretching, anything I can do. And like I said, just starting to get back in that mindset, because when you're in the off season, you get away from it. You still train and run routes and things like that, but it's not the same as putting pads on and being in season. So I'm just starting to get my mind right, and starting to visualize it really.
You got a DB you're gonna be working with over this time period?
Yeah, I got a couple around here. I got a couple out here in Boston, so we definitely get some good work. And one of them actually just got drafted to the XFL too, so it's good.
Have you talked to any of the guys? I know Bryson Aline got drafted. I know I saw Cedric Bird. Have you talked to any of the other guys that have been drafted from FCF?
Of course. I talked to Roman. He's going to be on my team. Mike Lee's on my team.
Well, Mike. I didn't know Mike was going to be there. Okay, yeah. I know Mike got drafted. I didn't know that was a team. That's all.
Orlando, yep. Kamali Matthews, lineman.
Molly, yep.
Yeah.
I know I'm missing a few, but a lot of us ended up in Orlando, which is awesome.
That's great.
Yeah.
Dude, that's incredible, man. I'm listen, obviously, we want you to come back for season 3 of the FCF, which, listen, hey, XFL is on, once the XFL season comes to an end, there's still a few games left. There comes Andrew Jamiel, it was straight in, right? Straight from the XFL, straight to the FCF.
You get the Johnny Manziel treatment, just show up.
That's right. Maybe he plays today, maybe he doesn't. I don't know.
See what he does.
Exactly.
All right, what's the first question you ask The Rock when you meet him? What's the first question you ask him?
Oof. I mean, I'm gonna need a picture. I feel like if I can just get a picture with The Rock, like I feel like that means I made it. No.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, that's the ultimate selfie, right?
Yeah.
I don't know what my first question is gonna be to him. No, I'm gonna have to think about that. That's good. I'm gonna have that ready so I don't look dumb when I meet him.
Hey, we just hit the front page of Twitch. So if you're just joining us right now, this is fan controlled sports and entertainment. We do fan controlled football, fan controlled hoops coming up. It is sports that is controlled entirely by the fans, and we're hanging out with Andrew Jamiel, one of our stars from fan controlled football seasons 1 and 2, who's going to be playing in the XFL. You can help decide what this show is going to be called next week by putting suggestions in the chat, and we'll pull out our favorites, and the fans will vote and decide what we're called. We are fan controlled as well. We're hanging out with Andrew Jamiel, talking about playing football professionally in the XFL and FCF.
Andrew Jamiel, the last time we saw you, you were racing Terrell Owens and James Harden on a track in Florida. Since then, what have you been doing to get ready for the XFL? I saw some cuts in the yard. Are you doing spin moves in the house? It's cold in Boston now, so you're getting that body cold ready. But now you're going to Orlando. What's going on?
Dude, I got smoked in that race. First of all, I didn't even train for the race. I just run a bunch of routes. I saw T.O. play in the FCF. I'm like, I think I could beat him. I do. Really? Dude, T.O. I mean, it's crazy. I mean, this dude, he looked like Usain Bolt on the track. Like the first two, we raced 3 times. The first 2, I didn't have a good start. So I was kind of screwed from the beginning. The third one, I'm like, I don't care if I jump early and they make us reset. I'm not getting out last. There's no way. Well, I jumped it perfectly. So I have my head down and I looked up at 10 yards, and that was the first race of the 3 that I hadn't seen anyone in front of me yet. I'm like, okay. And then all of a sudden at the very end, I hear T.O. He said, bye-bye. And dude, I didn't even know how to feel because I was pissed right after the race. I'm like, damn, I just lost. But, it's not about that. It's about going out there and, doing something fun for FCF and for ourselves and hanging out with a legend like T.O.
Yeah, what a cool thing. What a cool thing to be a part of.
I think, and for the people who just joined, they don't really know your story because you got that, what was that movie that, Invincible? You got the Invincible type of story.
Invincible.
Yeah,
I was a bartender for the longest time too.
So tell people how we got together, how everything happened. People need to hear that story.
It's crazy, man. I came out in 2020. Pro Day got canceled. The CFL, XFL canceled. So I knew I wasn't going to get a shot at the NFL without a pro day. I was a D2 guy, undersized. Not that I didn't think I could play, but I just, I knew what it was. And I ended up going to a free agent showcase in San Diego. And there was a quarterback there. We all had masks on, so I couldn't really tell who he was. But he said, I need to throw to some slots. And he said, I seen you run a few routes. He said, whenever you go, that's when I go. I'm like, okay, let's do it. So this dude and I ended up going off at this workout together. He takes the mask off. I'm like, yo, that's DeAndre Francois. My senior year of high school, So they used to do this show. I think it was on like HBO or Stars, and it's called All or Nothing.
Yep.
And they
Yeah.
they follow like a team. My senior year of high school, so I used to love watching stuff like that. And they did it on Florida State. I'm seeing Dalvin Cook, all these studs, and they're talking about this freshman quarterback. I'm like, okay, the kid's got some swag. He's supposed to be the starter. Like, I'm gonna see what he's got. And he ended up, being unbelievable his freshman year at Florida State. So I was a fan. So anyway, fast forward to this tryout. I realize it's him. He and I kind of hit it off. We spent the night in San Diego. That's where the workout was. A week later, he hits me up. He said, my agent sent me info for this new league that's starting up. He said, I don't know much about it, but I'm going to go to the workout, get some film. I'm sure there's going to be good competition. And he's like, you should go too. And I'm like, I don't need to know anything else. DeAndre Francois is telling me to go. I'm going to go. So now another side story, I'm sitting on my buddy's couch. This is like a week before the workout. And, he ends up showing me this kid on YouTube destroying. And
Yeah.
he showed me the Tyreek Hill video, and we started watching a couple of them. I followed him on all social media. I was a fan instantly. I'm like, this kid just makes dope football content, hangs out with famous people. I show up to this tryout with Francois. I don't know anyone else. All of a sudden, I see this dude walking down the sideline. I texted my boy. I said, yo, that dude destroying you showed me he's here. And I ended up, someone said he owns one of the teams. I'm like, he owns one of the teams? And just like, yeah, he owns the team with Richard Sherman and Quavo. I'm like, what type of league is this? So I went up to him and I said, look, man, like, I'm just going to tell you right now off the camera, like, there's no one on this field that's going to be able to cover me, okay? And I'm sure, like, a lot of people said stuff like that to him. He's like, yeah, I'll see what you got. I'll check it out. And I remember we did those interviews before the workout started, and I didn't know Doncor at the time, but he's sitting there and he calls my name. So I get up, start walking over to him, and he's like, hold up, you're walking up to me with some swagger now. He's like, you better be able to play. I'm like, don't worry about that, man. I got you. That video from the tryout ended up, getting however many millions of views. I had 2,000 followers on Instagram. I had 5,000 overnight. My inbox is flooded with, I saw you on Destroying, you're this, you're that. Like, I can't wait to see you in this league. I'm like, and I remember you called me, Ray, and, you told me about the league. You said, we want to offer you a contract. And you were like, whatever you do, I want you to be at peace with your decision. Whether you play or don't play, I just want you to be cool with it. And, I had no opportunities and I'm at the house. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to go. I mean, it was hard because it was in the middle of COVID. I knew it was a bubble, but, I went there with the mindset of, I don't care where these guys went to school. I knew that was going to be some of the best competition I've ever seen, but I know I can play. So, I mean, season one, I ended up doing well and we made it to the championship, and the whole experience. I mean, it was the coolest thing I've ever been a part of, And
He's
crazy to think back.
Hold on. And I'll say this: he's not giving himself enough like respect. Like we were there in Atlanta, and there was some bad, like 85% of the league came from Atlanta. Literally, it was good athletes at that deal.
God.
But there was this one dude that just stood out out of everybody, and me and D was going back and forth, and I was just like, I was watching these other guys, and I was like, yo, this is the guy over here. And D was like, nah, fam, over here, this dude over here. And I was like, what are you talking about? And I was like, it took three ball, I think like 3 in a row that you had hit. Like it was a comeback, it was a fade, it was something else. It was just crazy. And I was just like, that dude got it right there. Mm-hmm. And then you just had this swag, like you had this swag about you like back then. And I never forget that. I was just like, man, that's the type of guy that we need. We need the diamonds in the rough, like the ones that are grinding, and they gonna bring that, like they not scared. They've been waiting for this time. And everybody else came to get ready. You already ready.
Of course,
that's
man.
what's so dope about it. You can feel it.
Ray, come on. He comes from the Grit Factory. The Grit Factory just produces guys that are ready. You see Jeffrey Jamiel killing it for the Lehigh Valley.
That's it.
Right?
That's what you do, man.
Right? Andrew Jamiel, JoJo Jamiel, Jeffrey Jamiel. Let's go.
That's it. It all comes from the OG Pops,
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, awesome. People don't even remember, like, just to go back a little bit, what you just said, AJ, with Francois. Our production company that actually produces all of our contents, Crazy Legs Production, produced that. the Florida State deal, so they knew all of it, like they knew everything about Francois. So when we got all back together, it was just like all this stuff was meant to be, man. So,
it really is, man. Like I said, I heard about destroying. I meet him the next week. I used to love watching Francois. Now he's my quarterback. I mean, and now he's my quarterback again in the XFL. I mean, this shit just keeps getting crazier and crazier.
Crazy. I gotta tell you a quick story, Andrew. So we're getting ready for the tryouts for this past season for 2.0, and Jeter Leader in chat said, when is the FCF draft? We'll be drafting players. I mean, the fans draft the players. FCF and soon to be fan controlled hoops. We draft the players each week. You get to draft your team. You call the plays for your team. This is a video game in real life. And if you want a human being that is a joystick of a video game, you're talking to him right now. And Andrew Jamiel, just hit R2, hit L2, L2. He's back.
We need to see a video game.
We do. It's coming. It's coming. We're talking about Casillas in 15 minutes.
I might come to be in the game.
So Andrew, we're talking about the tryout, and it is actually the tryout in Orlando that you came to. Remember, you came to Orlando because you were kicking it with DeAndre.
Yep.
And so we're talking about the tryouts. We're talking about like doing this one-on-one thing and how we're going to run tryouts. And Sean Lyotta gets on the mic. He's on the Zoom call, right? And he's like, guys, you got to be honest, okay? We can't just pick the guys at the beginning of the tryout, okay? Because let me tell you something. If we were about to pick the guys at the beginning of the tryout, we would have never found no Andrew Jamiel, because that kid is a stud. He's an absolute stud. There's only one Andrew Jamiel. And he went on a Shakespearean soliloquy. That one's for you, Jeff, on how much of a stud Andrew Jamiel is, dude. It was incredible.
Hey, I like that idea too, AJ. We might have to bring some legacy guys back on the video game. You know how like they do all Madden team. We might have to have an all FCF team. Like 100%. you got to have a Jamiel up in that bad boy.
That's right. Got to, man.
You know Andrew Jamiel, an absolute stud. Let me tell you about it.
It's so easy to forget, having gone through season 2 and looking forward to season 3 now, that the first season was started, during COVID in a bubble and everything. I completely forgot about that data point. It's such a crazy thing that the whole league was started in the middle of COVID.
And please, I'd love you to talk more about that, but because I know I'm going to forget this, but I just want to give a shout out to the fans too, because we got to think it wasn't just us in the football operations that made everything happen for you. Like you caught so many balls, so many routes, so many touchdowns, and they were based off of what the fans were calling. They believed in you enough to say, like I remember going every week. They were like, "We got to get the ball to Jamiel. We got to get the ball to Jamiel." So you created a fanship, a army that wanted to get you the ball that has gotten you to another place to play football some more, man. So like, how does that feel? Like, that's why I love what we do. So, but how does that feel for you to think about that?
I'm going to tell you, like, guys that aren't in the NFL, if they're playing in any other league, they might, not enjoy it, think they're too good for the league, whatever it is. My point is that I am not mad at all that, I had to play in the FCF for 2 years and not in the NFL or something like that. I'm just saying I love the process. I had more fun than I've ever had playing football, played against some unbelievable players that are NFL, former NFL studs. So just the fact that the fans made it that special and the FCF, made it that special. I mean, I've loved the last 2 years of my journey, and like I said, a lot of guys wouldn't feel that way. I should be in the NFL, so it's just making the journey awesome.
We were talking that last night at the bucket shop, AJ, before you, unfortunately, Glacier Boys didn't make the playoffs. And you said, you were like, listen, man, at the end of the day, this league is electric. And I was like, hey, that's all we were looking to do was create electricity,
That's it. It really is. I mean, it's crazy, dude. Anyone that doesn't know about the FCF needs to. That's how it is.
And I'll say this to you too, man. Like you embody that, like, genuinely through and through every week, every like watching you not only practice but like all the other things that we had around you. And I said this, and I personally called all the guys that from I don't know if you guys know Tommy Ogur, the tight end, just got picked up. RJ, I always say his name wrong.
Tommy OJ. Yeah.
OJ. I called all the guys and just congratulated them all for getting a chance to keep playing football. Like that's what this is all about. It's like you just said, the journey. But at the same time, I made sure, and I said the same thing to you. Like, there's two things that you got to make sure that you're taking care of: is your body and film, right?
Mm.
So and then I think that's what's going to resonate with all you guys. You guys were really here, and it was like Chicago is a place for like theater artists, like Jeff. Like, if you want to really be a skillful theater thespian, you come to Chicago. It gets you ready for it. And this was just what that place was, but it wasn't just for football. We was teaching everything else, and I think that's what you kind of embodied that I loved.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's awesome. You guys make it damn near impossible to quit. Quit playing. I didn't know how long I was gonna want to try to play, but as long as I'm healthy, man. I mean, you guys make it too much fun.
Well, hey, man, you are part of the FCF family, the FCSE family, and we are so excited, man. It gives me a reason to tune into XFL football to see you and DeAndre back together again, and some of the other guys that are going to be there. It's exciting. We're rooting for you, man. You're always going to be part of the family, and we hope to get you back in our league again at some point as well.
And you heard it from the commish himself, and I don't want you in a helmet.
What's that?
I want you a part of this family, but I don't need you in a helmet. I need you somewhere else in this company, because you embody what fan control football is. So shouts out to you, bro. Proud of you, man.
Appreciate that, man. Thank you.
Andrew Jamiel, ladies and gentlemen.
The legend.
Yeah.
AJ,
man, thanks for being here. We appreciate it.
Man, it's good to see you guys again, man.
You too, buddy. You too, man.
You too, bro.
Absolutely.
All right.
We'll get
that's what it's about right there, man. Like,
he's the real deal.
Like, people don't understand how many of them guys that are out there waiting for just to keep playing. You know what I'm saying?
And I think
it's such a long journey. You got to go through so many things, man. And him, Cavante Turpin are like, when you see the stories of all the places that they're going to just land to, it takes a grown ass man to go through that stuff, man. And shouts out to him. So I'm proud of those guys.
Honestly, Ray, I think that to me is what is so awesome about our league is it's the people, right? It's the people. And listen, I love the NFL. I watch the NFL every week. I live the NFL. I breathe. I'm obsessed with it. But man, a lot of that is watching multimillionaires be multimillionaires, you know? And that's cool. But like, to see these guys like you're talking about fight and work and believe in themselves and scrape, and like, you can get really invested in these guys' stories, and you see them go on and do other things. It's great. It feels awesome.
All of us. And I said this on a phone call. Not all
Patrick's
of us.
back. Hey, Patrick.
I'm not just saying all of us in the company. What up, Pat? I'm not talking about everybody in the company. I'm talking about everybody watching, everybody listening, everybody who called a play. Everybody who called his play should be proud of him still being able to play football. And that's what that means that what you thought as a fan was enough for a man to keep living his dream.
Hell yeah.
You gotta think about that, man. Like, these dudes out here trying to live a dream, and y'all are part of that. Come on, man.
Yep.
And the reason that you're a part of it, if you're just joining us, is because this is fan-controlled sports. We're making leagues built around the fan experience of literally controlling every aspect, controlling the fates of these players. You call the plays in fan-controlled football. You decide the logos. You decide the names. You run these teams. We were even offering ownership stakes in the teams in fan-controlled football, and fan-controlled hoops is right around the corner as well. The same thing is going to happen for basketball, reinventing that sport and having fans at the center of that experience. So FCF.io is where you go to find out more. I think we have a new website now, right?
There's FCHoops.io.
FCHoops.io, yeah.
You can sign up. We just last weekend we had our FCHoops.io. We had a tryout in Houston last weekend. Apparently the talent in Houston was off the chart. I unfortunately could not have been there. Jordis Hybrid Smith is in the chat. I haven't seen him in a minute.
I just saw that. Shouts out to Jordis. Hey, listen, man. I tell you, boy, keep your head up, man. That boy right there, y'all. I'm telling y'all, That boy right there.
He can play
needs to be
football.
playing. Silly. That boy
D
can play.
Factor in the chat said, "Hey, could fans be playable characters? Can we tackle Josh McCouga in the game?" We're going to talk to Aaron Casillas about that in about 8 minutes or so. Who's heading up game development here, because I've been tackled by many a large man last season, and I plan on getting tackled by many a more.
I think that's why you signed up, isn't it? I think that's why we hired you. It was part of the interview process.
Mhm.
I want to piggyback on what Jeff said about fans deciding about everything about these leagues, and one of the reasons we're here on Twitch is because it very much is a real life video game, right? A big part of the ethos at Twitch is building community, fan engagement, those types of things. And so, when we started looking for distribution partners, they were top of the list. You can find us on NBCLX, on Peacock, on DAZN, on Fubo. We're everywhere. But really, if you think about it, Twitch is kind of that fan control sports prime experience, because you're here, you're engaging with the community, you're calling plays, you're determining action on the court. And it's awesome. And we're hyped to be on Twitch.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, this is the center of the experience. Really, it really is building sports for the digital generation, for folks that expect to have control, expect to have interaction. The league is interactive on every level. Literally, you call the plays, you draft the players, you decide the sport, but also fans are creating content. Fans are interacting with the players a daily basis. We had a quarterback in our league that allowed the fans to decide what he wore every week in the game.
Yeah. Did Mitch Kidd get drafted in the XFL? Because if not, he better come back for season 3. He's my neighbor. I gotta go talk to him.
Not
Go
yet.
talk to him.
Not
Just
yet.
knock on his door.
Listen,
He just got drafted in the XFL, I believe.
Did he really?
Yep, just about 20 minutes ago. While you guys were interviewing Andrew Jamiel, I watched friend of the family, Mitch Kidd, get drafted.
Oh,
Mitch
man.
Kidd, look at that. Come
Congratulations.
on.
That's awesome.
And he's in Orlando. Freddie Ariel said he's in Orlando. Jesus, Orlando's just taking the entire FCF.
This guy,
The nice thing.
was
I watch
somebody
out for those guys.
on that coaching staff that we got a couple coaches on that coach staff, don't we?
Yeah, more than a few there.
Somebody on that coach's staff was calling plays on the app, I think.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, hey, listen, if the Rock's paying the bill, you order the expensive stuff. You know what I mean?
Correct. And
That's
I'm
right.
thrilled those guys are all getting the bag while there's
Wait,
still
so-
money in it. I'm
So
excited
does that mean
about that.
DeAndre Francois and Mitch Kidd are on the same team?
Apparently.
Correct.
Listen, they here's what's going to happen is they're going to only score about 10 to 15 points in the game. And then they're going to put Mitch Kidd in for the last 2 minutes, score 3 touchdowns
There
and
you
win
go.
every game. That's what you
Boom.
do. You
That's
bring
what he
in
does.
Dennis Eckersley, Patrick. We talked about it.
Come on, the act.
Eckersley.
Yeah, actually, it's a crazy strategy to try and go down by 20 points and then put Mitch in, but I think it's going to work, guys.
Yes.
People don't believe it. This is a true story. A NFL team called me for Mitch Kidd. That was the one guy that they called me on. They asked me, and one of the biggest things they asked me, what was his height? So, yeah,
Interesting.
Yeah, that
What
was
is his height? I actually don't even know.
Yeah,
He's 6'6", right?
6'5".
I thought it was 6'2", and then they were like, I was like,
Listen, 2 of the greatest quarterbacks to ever play the game were short. Okay, there's currently a very short quarterback in the NFL that's pretty good.
Kyle
Okay?
Murray. Yeah,
Exactly.
Yeah.
Doug Flutie, Drew Brees, these guys could sling the pill.
Yeah.
How tall was your boy Joe Montana, Jeffrey? Do you know?
I
6
don't know. He was
foot?
over 6 feet though. He's
Okay,
he's a big dude. But I think Jeff Garcia was short, right?
Jeff Garcia, short.
Really?
Josh McCouga,
Doug
short.
Flutie, right?
Yeah, Doug Flutie is the poster child for short, awesome quarterbacks.
Yeah.
You know, it's so funny you mentioned. I met Joe. I've met Joe several times. He's an investor in Fan Control Sports Entertainment, and because I am 6'4", almost 6'5", in my mind, I still think these icons are always taller than me.
Yeah.
Right? Like
6'2",
they're all
Joe
they have to
Montana.
be. They're just
6'2".
larger than life. And to me, Joe's not that tall, but he's a
But you
6'6"
wait.
He's
We
6'2".
met them together. You right? I thought he was bigger than I expected.
right?
He was bigger.
But you know,
than
I met
expected. Yeah, he was.
I
way-
also
he was
met
bigger than
I'm
I-
spacing his name. Who plays Morpheus in the Matrix films?
Oh,
Lawrence Fishburne.
Lawrence Fishburne.
Yes, I met Lawrence Fishburne in a Gelson's, and he was tiny. I could totally take that guy in a fight.
Yeah.
Like
man,
Morpheus,
listen,
he should
yeah,
be
but-
able to beat me up.
Gelson's
take-
makes everybody look short. That's just the
Listen,
Gelson's
I was doing this
It's the
show
air.
in Detroit called Detroit 187, and what's your boy Wolverine?
Oh,
Hugh
Hugh
Jackman.
Jackman.
Come on,
Yeah.
Hugh Jackman's Hugh Jackman.
Jackman came through, And I was like, damn. Like, dude, like a linebacker, bro. That dude is jacked. I didn't. He is jacked, like Jack. Dude is Diesel, man. I was surprised. I was very surprised.
Yeah, which is funny because Wolverine in the comic books is like the short.
He's a little guy, right? It's Wolverine. He's small. He's like one of the smallest superheroes.
But Montana is the same height as Aaron Rodgers. They're both 6'2". They're not,
Yeah, one's just got a bigger head than the other one. Yeah.
Well, one, one is the greatest of all time, and the other one is Aaron Rodgers.
Well, yeah. You know why Joe Montana and Doug Flutie look shorter than they were? It's because they played in that era where the shirts weren't tucked in. Right,
and the sleeves. Remember the sleeves? The sleeves were like. Ray has a picture in a jersey like that.
I got these pads on. I'm making a defensive play. I got these pads was like outside the screen right here. You couldn't even
like pauldrons.
You look like a bobblehead.
Dude, you see what they play in now though? Man, you can have they playing in draws, man. They just
you can have the biggest arms in the world and it still look like little twigs coming out of those sleeves, man.
that was football back then, you know?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
All right, hey, Josh, should we bring in our next guest?
I think we should. We never really got to yell about sports and stuff, but you know what? This is a crazy show because we got started late.
Wait. Do I gotta go out?
Yeah, you're gonna go out for this part.
All right, before I go out, I gotta do this for my guy. He knows what that is. All right, I'm out.
Ray Austin,
I gotta
bring you back in soon, Commissioner.
He'll be back. He'll be back.
So I learned what that was in Atlanta. It was incredible. It is the Lou Ferrigno. The process of the Hulk turning from Bill Bixby to Lou Ferrigno is beep. I had no idea, but both Ray and our future guest here, Aaron Casillas, we're like determined to show me the Hulk transformation. So I'm so excited for the world to meet the one, the only Aaron Casillas.
Yeah, this is fan-controlled sports entertainment is the fusion of elite level sports and video games. So we got a video game expert right here, Aaron Casillas. Welcome to the show. How you doing?
If we can get his camera and mic on. Mike, can we get the mic to turn on?
I'll talk a little bit about Aaron while he's unmuting here. So Aaron is a 25-year video game vet. He's been at EA. He's been at Activision. He's been at Telltale. To Jeff's point, we recruit all of these top-tier sports executives and this team around building the sports end of it. Aaron represents the beginning of our video game DNA. We talk all the time about how we're this amalgam of sports meets video games. It's the reinvention of sports for the digital age. Again, if you invented football today, what would it look like? I would assert it would look a lot like fan control football. So Aaron is bringing all of his deep systems and tutorialization and onboarding and loops and all of his video game knowledge, bringing that to everything that we're doing here in fan control sports and entertainment. And I don't know, are we able to unmute him at all?
Well, he's unmuted on our end. He has to unmute on his end. There he is. There it is. Now we lost the video.
It's over.
Internet. Am I right?
There we go.
Okay,
Aaron, can you hear us?
Oh man!
Do you think they live streamed a moon landing in 1963? You realize that?
Yo, can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Oh,
we
there
got
he
you.
is. We got him. We got him.
On the moon. It's okay.
Ruthless Cutie, does he know sign language? Is he ASL?
He can't hear us.
That would be incredible.
That's the
Can't
problem.
hear us.
He does not hear
somebody
us.
told me something about sign language the other day that blew my damn mind. So
Talk
every
to me.
language is at the speed of sound, but ASL is at the speed of light.
That's pretty amazing. That's pretty true.
I know. I heard that this week.
It's pretty good. It's pretty
Yeah.
good. It's pretty good. Yes.
The
yes.
fastest language of all time.
Correct.
Sign language.
Well, we could get Aaron Casillas in here. It's amazing that our head of gaming, who's Andy Hitter, says 11K viewers, finally Makuga getting the audience he deserves. I don't know about that. I don't know if I deserve this.
No,
many.
I don't think that's right at all.
I mean, I guess we could bring in Ray, although he has left the camera. So it's just us three. You guys want to yell about sports until we can get Aaron Casillas to figure this out?
I would be thrilled about it because I think there's so much to unpack with Aaron to talk about our approach to the gamification of sports. It's like I can't wait for him to get in here. Let's yell about sports, Josh.
Jeff,
Ready?
hit the tune. Go.
Yell about sports and stuff. Let's yell about sports and stuff. Let's yell.
Woo! Okay. Gentlemen, The World
sir.
Cup starts on Sunday of soccer, aka football. Okay. The
Okay.
odds-on favorite is Brazil, followed by Argentina, and closely there by France.
You have to tell me that. I mean, obviously.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
duh.
We
Everybody
all know
knows
that.
that.
Yeah.
The USA currently plus 15,000. So put a $100 bet on there. You're bound to win a lot of money if we do in fact win. I don't know if that's going to happen, but stranger things have happened in soccer or football. No, that's nothing strange has really ever happened in the World Cup. So if you were to fan control soccer, aka football, what would you do? How would you fan control it?
I would ask the chat to chime in here as well, because I'm very
Yes,
curious
please
to see
chat.
if you're
Yes,
live watching this, how does one fan control actual real life soccer? Would love to
Yes.
hear the thoughts.
It's a fast-paced game. Here's what I think, and it's kind of like like a hockey. We have to change the game a little bit now.
Lay it on me, Josh.
Here's my idea. First of all, the reason why soccer has not caught on in the United States, although everybody plays it as a youth and then somehow moves on. Andy Hitter just says fights.
Fights? Come on.
Yes.
Amazing. It's a great answer.
I think fights is great. Nerdy Watches says power up, use hands. Freddie Airmail, instead of kicking, you pick up the ball and run with it. Well, that's handball. Okay.
I think he's
or
rugby.
football or rugby. Or if there's there's a goal, so it's more like handball. I watch a lot of handball in the Olympics, and I'm pretty sure I could play that sport.
We take soccer. We play it exactly as they played, except we wear pads, helmets. You can pick up the ball, you can throw it.
Yep. Okay, here's my idea.
It's called we stick with the name though. It's still called football.
Football.
Of course.
Exactly.
Yes. If for no other reason to underscore how cool that power up is.
Afro says only backwards movement. There you go. Okay, here's what I think. Fans can, in a form of power-ups, really change the game. So you can take a guy off. You can tell there is no red cards or yellow cards. Nobody gets whatever. Okay. The actual clock starts and stops at 45 minutes. Enough of this. Oh, the only person that knows the real time is the referee. Congratulations. Congratulations, ref.
Yeah.
Get the hell out of here. Like, what is that? Okay.
Oh, am I on? Damn.
I like Nerdy Watch's suggestion. Says do it with remote control cars.
Oh, so what's
I'm into it.
Yes.
It's
You know what I would like, bro? Because me and my brother, because I don't get to see my brother as much, we play chess online. How dope would it be to have fan control chess, but it's like on our LED court?
Yes.
You know, and then you like court it out, and then people like when they're chosen, they gotta like scoot over to their square. You know, if you you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like a pawn got to get there, and then he got to twerk because he
can do the gritty.
Yeah, but it would be something. But we could change the environment underneath the actual chessboard because I love you see them big ass chess pieces. I love that. So imagine that I don't know. That's
my favorite thing about Ray is his superpower is a really great answer to a different question. How do we improve soccer?
Chess. I came in halfway through.
Great answer to a different question. You know what I mean?
I love it.
How do we fan control the World Cup to make America care? Okay, one of the power ups, you blindfold the goalie.
Oh,
blindfold the goalie,
and you just say, "Hey, yeah, dive."
It's incredible.
The fans literally I would control the goalie through auditory.
Yes. Dive. Move him. Move left. Move left.
No, I was wrong. It was right. He kicked the ball. He bended it like Beckham.
You're right. You're It's good. It's good.
I feel like soccer might be one of the hardest.
Anybody got anything else?
It'll be hard. Yeah, that's why I said chess. But I didn't know the whole.
We've been at this for a long time, and we've thought through a lot. That's literally the first question you talk about when we're reinventing sports, especially on a global scale. Now that we're doing hoops and there's this global attention to it, the first question we get all the time is, "How do you do soccer?" And I think the answer is really thinking outside of kind of traditional rules. And to Ray's point, the pitch has to be a little bit different, right? Like again, you're right. It's shorter, it's faster, but like digitizing the pitch and have it being a smart pitch in the way we are doing with hoops, right? We talk about basketball, and we've got the entire court is a giant LED, which is able to not only do cool particle effects and explosions, we're able to surface stats and stuff in real time. And to me, I think fundamentally that's where you start. And I don't know what that answer is. What is that core loop? What is that real time? As a fan, I choose X, Y, and Z, but I think it starts with modernizing and optimizing the game.
I think that the
Yes.
first thing I would do is just end the offsides rule.
Of soccer.
And,
no,
and the offsides
yeah.
rule 100%.
Yeah.
How about fans vote on only left feet for 5 minutes, or like only right feet for 5? They can't use their other foot. They have to choose one foot. It's not hopping, but they can only kick with the one foot. Jeff, what do you
Right.
think?
I like it.
Yeah. Afro, Josh,
Only
fans-
vertical kicks.
No, how about
Yeah,
the fans
oh.
choose like what the whether it's an ambulance or people come out, or is it clown show that when somebody gets hurt, they go like, oh, it's like
Yeah.
two clowns come out.
Here comes the clown ambulance. Yeah.
I think you're killing. My favorite thing about soccer is when they get touched, they go down like they were a victim of sniper fire.
Key and Peele has the best. I love that. They
Yeah.
got a skit with that, man. It is brilliant.
I
Yo,
see.
can you
Okay.
guys hear me?
There, broadcast. Let's
It's
go.
happened.
No way.
Yeah.
Hold on. Let me turn up the mic. Hold on.
Let's
Hold on,
go.
Oh, and I'm
Okay.
still in. That's awesome. Okay, so there you go.
Here we go.
The show, Aaron Casillas.
Breaking all the rules. There he is.
Oh,
Can you hear us?
Let's. We did it, guys.
How about now? Can you hear me now?
Again,
Yeah,
Oh, we can hear you
us?
great.
I did it. You did it.
live streamed from the moon 50 years ago, and we're still struggling with guest
Aaron
star on
Casillas,
Twitch.
ladies and gentlemen. Welcome him to the show.
Mr. C back in the saddle again. Don't call it a comeback, baby. Yeah.
No, you cut off the beard, man. Come on.
I don't understand. It was like an awesome connection because only you and I knew what that meant.
That's all that mattered. I didn't
You
care.
said,
Even though we have Spotify, we have all audio. I didn't care. I was just like, nope, just me and him are connecting right now.
just connecting. I was like, what's my favorite superhero? Spidey. And he goes, I'm the Hulk. And I go, beep. And he turned around with the eyes like, beep. I'm like, oh shit. I thought I was the only human. It wasn't. Ray too. We connected. Oh, that was awesome. That was an awesome
The Lou Ferrigno Hulk show is so underrated, and you can never find it on TV anywhere. You can never find it.
So
Yo,
good.
but like Aaron showed it to me. So like I was in the dark. I was one of those people that was in the dark. It's like, why do you keep going beep over and over? And they wouldn't tell me. They just kept doing it, which makes it infuriates you. Like, no, seriously.
So annoyed.
But cool. But they're like, yeah, but anyway, they finally pull it up on YouTube, and it is the slowest show in the
It's a drama.
It was
Real
so
drama.
No, but no, it's not even that. It's like every scene they go back and forth and and like it's everything moves in molasses. It's wild. It's like
It's
the
The Wire.
sloths in Zootopia.
Yeah. It was
Well,
a
it was-
different
it
type of Josh. It was a different type of, and I was telling him like the way film is shot right now. It's like fing, 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 fing. That was just straight. It was one scene, and that was it.
But they were trying to squish them inside of like a trash compactor with a car, and it was like. They cut to the other corner. You're like, when's it gonna happen? They cut inside. He's like, you're like, oh,
They
okay,
just
that's
walk
the
away
drama.
in slow mo. It was wild.
Yeah.
And then Aaron then it was.
It was over. He's like, and he had that wig, and he came out of the back. Yeah, it was over. It was
Oh
over.
man.
Welcome
I heard
to
you-
our Incredible Hulk fan cast, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Somebody said, "Why do you keep going beep?" Oh, that's
Yeah.
the new show,
It's the show name for the email. Before we get to the meat of the discussion, Ruthless Goody wants to know if you have Harry Potter's broom behind you.
Yeah. Is that a
Yeah,
old school?
that's it, right there in the back. Yep.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. He's a
standing
big
up like
Quidditch
that,
guy.
Yeah, if you stand it up like that, it means you get rid of bad guests. So
Man,
that's
man.
all I'm gonna say.
All right, well, I ground that to a halt. Sorry, that was my fault. Let's talk about the gamification stuff because you are integral in bringing that. We've talked about it. We were kind of mentioning it when we were trying to get you in the first time a few minutes ago. How fan controlled football, fan controlled hoops. They are this marriage of elite level sports and video games. And you have the pedigree of having, worked at all these incredible video game publishers and developers over your career. Talk about how that integration is actually manifesting, here in fan controlled sports and entertainment.
Yeah, definitely. So coming on board, there was already an incredible product, right? You have fan control sports. And when I heard about it, I was like, what? You're actually relaying these plays out to a quarterback and the team, and they're running the play. Looked at the app and just saw so many new opportunities, so many different ways we can gamify and add loops upon loops upon loops that will just increase engagement. And then as well as the kind of language that's out there right now currently of different mechanics, the game mechanics, we can bring those and infuse those. So when people are playing a game at home, a different kind of game, and they come to our game ecosystem, there's muscle memory there. They already understand what's going on over there, and we're presenting very, very familiar mechanics. So that's kind of our first stage that we're rolling in. We're creating those loops. We're creating those what we call compulsion loops. We're also reinvesting in a lot more of the Ballers Collective that we launched last year. We'll be launching a higher fidelity system that will allow you to change up your gear on your character.
Oh, sick.
I know Ray's going to like that. He's going to be changing up his character. So you're going to be able to, and for me, there's an incredible meta there because now you can draft real players and determine, you know what, I want to really emphasize on wide receivers like Jamiel, the Jamiels of the world, and then go into the locker, what we're calling the locker room, and then put the gear on that will emphasize your real world team. So it'll give you more voting power, for example, on catch plays or running plays, or one part of the football field or another part of the football field. So it's up to you to be able to match that together. So it's that higher fidelity, and there's that meta play between the team that I just drafted and then the gear that I'm putting together. I'm looking forward to see it. Like, I'm looking forward to seeing and being surprised and delighted by what the audience comes up with.
Yeah.
And go ahead, Jeff.
Well, I was going to say the so much of the joy of season one and especially season one for me, because I wasn't there broadcasting the games, was, playing along and seeing if I could guess the plays, but having that added layer of gamification for the viewers, for the fans, to be able to say, hey, not only am I picking the plays, I'm also maximizing my own scoring opportunities on that other game that I'm playing against the other fans.
Not only will you be able to do it in the real, what I call game day, but we're also taking those exact same NFTs and you'll be able to use them in our video game that we're developing as well. So you're maximizing your characters across what we call our ecosystem. So you've got game day, you've got play day, right? And as we keep moving on, we want to keep honoring those NFTs that the fans are investing in. And one cool feature that we're adding is the more you play, the stronger the gear gets. So you can imagine you keep Josh made a face. Now, because we are a Web3 company, play to earn comes to mind. So now that you have gear that's been evolved, gear that you've been playing with, gear that you've been winning with, you know what? There's going to be some real world value to that gear, which is pretty paradigmatic. For me, if you look at my career, I've just been at the right place at the right time with so many different places. And it's always been that kind of paradigmatic shift at any one company that I've been at. So for example, Electronic Arts, it was Medal of Honor back in the day, way before Call of Duty. We were making cinematic experiences with games. Telltale Games, same thing. Zynga Poker was social. We had our own streaming show as well. And now we're here, So maybe I'm lucky, but I think I'm always I think the universe is always pushing me in those directions.
Go ahead, Patrick.
Well, we're just, Aaron, I tell you this daily, but just so I can say it publicly, we're thrilled to have you here. We've talked a lot about augmenting our gaming DNA. To Jeff's point, it is a video game. There are leaderboards. So I, as a fan, am competing. The better I do, the more quickly I level up. I'm competing against other fans, and the more weight my vote carries. I'm curious to see when we first found you and said, hey, look, here's this crazy thing that we're doing. We've done it for one season. We're about to do hoops. We're about to do season 2. What was the thing that excited you about this crazy thing that we're building?
I think, for me, it really came together when I went to go to see my first game on opening day. And I think
in the
word-
Lucador mask.
in the luchador mask. I was in the
Yes.
mask, so nobody could know who I was, Josh. But thanks
Yes,
for telling
true.
everybody now.
True.
Wait, that was your first game? That was your first game?
That was my first game, and you know the word that came to mind was responsibility. Now I'm responsible beyond just this little thing, right? Because in video games we talk about it as looking at your navel. Like these games are always just so enclosed, and that's one thing. Let's say, for example, at Zynga, we always try to do is like break out of that mold and make sure that there's a world outside the game. And if you look at the greatest games that are out there, they have a community of people that are out there, just like the community right now. Hello, fans. And that's exactly when I was at my first game. I was just awed. Like, this is a community. It's more than just a video game. It's more than just an app. It's people that make this happen. So, and for so long in my career, you know, you're just behind the computer. Then you launch a game. Back then, you go to Best Buy and you're listening to what people say. Now, oh, you hate my game, kid? But now it's very different. It's evolving. There's all these different places you can go and be part of the different communities. Ruthless Cutie says, best community out there. That's right.
Agreed. Agreed.
And I've been at game companies where we would bring in customers. They thought we were just, you know, a machine, and they would pinch us. There was actually an old lady that pinched me. Oh, you're real? Oh, you're real? I'm like, yeah, I'm real. I'm a real person. But it made you realize that we hide behind the computer so much that we forgot that human element. So that's really, Patrick, to answer your question, it was the human element that kind of made me feel responsible for something much bigger than just, hey, I'm making an XP curve, an exponential XP curve for everybody, you know? So
I think it's amazing.
Josh.
Go ahead, Patrick. Sorry.
I want to ask you, and I know that we've got a ton of questions for you. I think what's interesting to me is Aaron, we talk a lot about how a lot of like core gamers aren't that into sports a lot of times, right? They've chosen their path of fandom has gone down this road of, you know, video games and maybe, you know, I don't know, board games or other things versus sports. And it's not an either or necessarily. It can be an and that's what we're building here. How have you started thinking about how do we build an ecosystem that's welcoming to folks that like just love games, love leveling up, love grinding for loot and gear and all that stuff, and exercising what I think is a very similar muscle, right? Like Jeff and I are a couple of nerds that are into both. And I know you've been spending a lot of time thinking about how do we like onboard people, teach people, welcome them into this kind of whole sports ecosystem and have it be a welcoming place to be.
Right. I think a key word here is frictionless experiences. So coming in, making sure there's no friction. You're coming in, and then all of a sudden,
sorry, frictionless experiences. Come on, guys. That was set up for everybody. Are you kidding me? That is ridiculous. None of you took that bait.
First of all,
you gotta have a frictionless
Immune
experience.
to it now.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, got it.
Josh
There's only one
is-
6-year-old
Josh
on the
is-
call.
Josh,
well, right. What grade are we in? We're talking real deal right now.
Josh, this is adult sucking.
Yeah. Grow up, Josh.
Josh, Makuga. So for the
All right. So
opposite
the thing
would
we
be-
got to do is we got to stick our fingers right in the hole of interaction. Sorry.
So the opposite would be an experience with lots of friction, right? That's what we call it. And when that happens, we have customers churn out. So number one, that's the most important thing. Second is you want to bring people in to an experience that's very familiar. So we talked about the different mechanics. Coming in and understanding that, you know, that's my XP system. It's called Fan IQ. These are gear. This is familiar to an RPG.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Etc. So that's basically what we're doing right now is bringing in those mechanics and systems that are very familiar.
And so when we go to basketball, I want to know.
Hey, Josh, you know what was a friction experience? Me trying to get this microphone and system.
Yes, it was totally frictionless, 100%. It was pure sandpaper across the board. I am so excited for basketball, and I know a ton of other people are. I get more messages on Instagram and Twitter and everything across the board. What's basketball? What's basketball going to be like? You're going to fan control basketball? What do you mean fan control basketball? And I know that you guys were in Atlanta on Monday looking at the court. We had some big people checking out the court. We had a very fun conversation on Friday. You had a couple whiskeys. I had a couple whiskeys. It went from Double Dragon to Roblox to then Fire. So tell the fans and everybody out there, and if you're watching and you're new, front page, this is Fan Controlled Sports and Entertainment, Fan Controlled Football, and soon to be Fan Controlled Hoops. 2 leagues, 1 company, 1 place, 1 man running these crazy operations amongst many other people. Correct, Patrick Dees?
Yes,
I guess.
everything.
I like
It's in there somewhere. I don't know where you're going.
when Josh was talking, the curtain in the back kept like yanking for some reason. Woo. I love it. So just a little note on Fire, because everyone's probably wondering, what does that mean? These are the things that you won't get on the back of the box. Maybe you'll hear it in the Netflix version of our story, but we have a court that we're building, right? That has ball tracking, it has zone lit, and the ball tracking has fire. And Ray has seen it, Patrick's seen it. There's a fire.
But explain that. Like we're literally again, it's a giant LED court, and everywhere that ball goes in X, Y, and Z axis, we know where that is. And by tracking, he talks about the fire. That is a particle effect that trails off behind it. There will be this big announcement. You guys will see it, but I want to people to understand that you'll be able to see where the ball goes in all 3 directions.
Before
Ray,
you explain it, I
excited
want to say one thing. As the commissioner of Fan Control Football, I am absolutely jealous of what is going on in basketball. This will be probably the biggest thing that hits in sports. Like when you see it and you're a part of it, you're like, I'm out the whole time. I kept thinking, like, how do we put this in football? Because this is, it's that badass. But go ahead.
Yeah,
go ahead.
Patrick FaceTimed me from the court, and my whole reaction was just an emoji. I was just like,
crazy. That's crazy.
So when we were talking about fire, I was just talking to Josh McCougs. There's different kinds of fire here. There's like magical fire. There's technology fire. Necromancer fire, and I'm trying to figure out, what is our fire? What kind of fire does that look? And these are details that you get asked in the creative rooms, and I was just racking my brains on what would it look like. That's important at that level. By the time it gets to you guys, you just feel it like, oh, that's fantastic. That's great. Like putting together.
Can we do necromancer fire? Because I'd be into that. I'm into the let's bring some basketball players back from the dead and then have them play in the league.
It was crazy because he was literally making this as we were there. He was actually on the computers. There's like all these crazy computers, and he was developing it, and then he throw it on the thing. We were like, it was
it's the magic man.
It was crazy. It was crazy.
Well, for those of you that are familiar with game making, we're using Unity, and Unity powers 50% of the top 1,000 video games out there. And we built it with Unity, and it's driving the core graphics. So that's just the beginning. I was explaining to some of you guys like what we can do with that. I mean, we can reinvent many different sports using systems that are inside a video game engine, like collision on collision. And I was joking with Patrick, we can have one player throw a fireball at another player or put a spell on somebody else. You know, sky's the limit.
Wait a second. Wait.
Hold up. Wait a minute.
He does want to do Quidditch.
Time out. Dees, repeat what he just said.
Something about Quidditch and I don't know, muggles, and there was a sorting hat comment in there somewhere, which was wild. You guys know, I know zero about Harry Potter, but I know Hufflepuff, Quidditch, muggles, and sorting hat. And if I say those things, people are like, "Oh, cool, you totally know." That's all I know.
You did it.
You did it. Cultural osmosis.
Man,
a lot of people also don't know, like, my background is really in fine art. Like that's where I really started, and it was long ago. I went to UCLA School of Fine Art. They were the #1 art school in the world. Studied under Paul McCarthy, Chris Burden, Kathy Opie, all these hot artists. But I remember drawing Makuga. I remember specifically drawing you. A lot of people don't know you started your career as a nude model.
I did.
Yeah.
It
And I remember
sounds like a bit, but it isn't.
It's not.
No, yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like that sounds like the normal shit we would give each other. This is like
this is real.
Capital T true.
Jim, do you have the picture I took of
You
of
took a
Cougar?
picture
Yeah.
Oh man.
just to draw a little at home, maybe.
Do we have it up? No, we don't have it up. I was going to show you. but
You don't want to see.
why?
It was about 50 pounds ago. I
do
was a
wanna see
lot
it.
of working out. I had abs. I
I
had
got.
abs.
Well, I think
Yeah.
if you're watching,
probably like-
There it is. There it is.
Where is it?
If you're watching the chat, on on
This is
Twitch,
what-
you can see me as I had abs. That wasn't okay. I do have a little bit of chest hair. Go to the Twitch chat. Go to the actual Twitch stream, and you'll see it. For those he drew,
These guys can't
Ruth is
see.
cutie. He drew Josh like, look, we are gaining subscribers. We are gaining viewers. The
Wow.
longer this stays on
Wow.
screen,
Well,
the
amazing.
longer this is staying.
I'm also working on my next.
That's a small blur right there, boy.
but good. But this is what I was trying to tell you.
You know what that is?
This is
You know
why
what
you
that
were
is?
good at this, but you were good at comedy. Like
you know what that is, Josh? That's a frictionless experience, right?
chef's kiss, baby. And
My goodness.
for those of you that know the race story, I've got a new gym. Can we bring up the new NFT I'm designing for Ray?
Oh,
So
Ray's
my
getting his
favorite
own.
part about Jeffrey delivering that frictionless experience was the lead up to it, the look in his eye when he knew he had his zinger and he was like leaning forward. He's like, here.
Oh, look at that.
So good.
He's gonna have chicken wings for wings.
Oh,
He's gonna have
Ray's
chicken
chicken wings.
Commissioner
Yes.
Wings.
One's a drumstick. I messed up, but I heard about the story. And,
Is that an
you know what?
anytizer? Is that an anytizer there?
It's
What's up, man?
Yeah.
Hey,
it's
ladies
good.
and gentlemen, we are fan-controlled football. We are fan-controlled hoops. We are fan-controlled sports and entertainment. Fan-controlled means you get to decide the name of this show, the official companion show to fan-controlled sports and entertainment. So if you want to get those show names in, we're going to vote. We're going to put the vote up really soon. So get your last suggestions. I happen to like Frictionless Experience. I think that's pretty good.
Strong.
Yes,
Uh,
100%.
Just wanted to note that it's the last call for that. We might be the podcast, the show might be ending at our normal time, but I think we're going to stick around. Some of us, I might have to go, but some of us are going to stick around on Twitch and keep rolling on and do maybe some AMA and fun stuff if you guys want to hang out here on Twitch live. But get your last call for names for what we're called next week.
Oh, you can
You
see
get
the
to decide.
votes. Oh,
The poll is up right here. Unintentional mic
yeah.
drop. We
That's
take over
cool.
Orlando.
Ah, that's cool.
Frictionless experience. NFTizer.
Oh, I like that.
An
I like that
FDizer.
Twitch card. That's cool. That's cool. Oh, that's dope.
And
NFTizer. NFTizer.
And we're playing
Yeah, they
playing
have that.
both seasons coming into next year. So 2023 we'll have both a season of fan control football and then fan control hoops. We're here every single Thursday at 2:30 Pacific, hanging out, talking about the latest developments, breaking news about all of this stuff, largely talking about Shakespeare and shoes flying off. A lot of that stuff going on. So come hang out with us going forward.
100%. Aaron Casillas, comedian, video gamer, luchador.
This is
Raw.
This is real. I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, this is real. If you're listening on the podcast, will be the end of the show for you. If you're watching here on Twitch, on the front page on the carousel, we're going to be here for we're going to do a little AMA. We have some fan Discord questions to get to. Myself, Ray, and Patrick will stick around. I don't know if Aaron Casillas wants to stick around.
Yeah,
Totally
I'll
up to
stick
him.
around.
I do have some trivia. I have some trivia, especially for Aaron.
Nice.
So we can get that in there.
No.
And if you guys, if you are listening, you subscribe to the podcast channel, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. There's also an FCTV podcast channel with Freddie Stat Go, Kenny G. Stevenson's Fan Control Fandom, as well as Don't Cause a Ruckus and the Info Arcade.
I watched Don't Cause a Ruckus last night, and he said the same thing I said. Like, the fans should be proud of all that they've been doing for this league. So shouts out to Ruckus and those.
It's a league literally built by fans for fans, right? Like, it's incredible that, like, to Ray's point, they're crucial in every single piece of this process. Oh, Frictionless Experience wins by a country mile.
83%. 83% Frictionless Experience is what we will be called next week. Thanks to you, our fans, voting. We appreciate it. Vote. And hey, go over to fcf.io, fchoops.io. Check out what's brewing with the next seasons of these leagues. Get involved. And again, you can subscribe to this show as a podcast. You can watch it on YouTube. You can listen on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. We're here, as Patrick said, every Thursday, counting down until the leagues are back rocking and rolling with new games. But in the meantime, we're having a blast, and we're making this as fan controlled as we possibly can.
Hell yeah, Jeff. Jeff, do you have to go?
I gotta go. I got children. They're it's not dad controlled, it's kid controlled in my house. But I appreciate you guys, and I can't wait till next week. Actually,
No, we will be
the show next
off.
week. It's like
No show next week because of the Thanksgiving holiday here in the States. So we'll be back the week after.
Something.
Yeah.
Where?
All right.
Where?
Have a good rest of the show. Enjoy. Thanks, fellas.
All right, Kanata Jeff.
Later.
Bye, Kanata Jeff. Power to the fans.
Power to the fans.
All right. We'll stick around here for like, what do you guys want to do? 30 minutes for the fans, for the people?
Yeah, I got 30 minutes.
Let's hang out.
20, whatever.
Sure.
My food's still
Hang out.
there, so
Play
we
by ear a
good.
little bit. Let's take some questions from the chat, and then I know in our Discord, which is a poppin' place. Man,
Yes.
it is awesome community. But I think we've got some Discord questions as well.
We do. We have some Discord questions. So if you're not in the Discord and you're watching now, you go to Discord, join Fan Controlled Sports and Entertainment. If you guys want to subscribe to this channel, that's Fan Controlled Sports. Fan Controlled Sports across Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, as the Facebook. Apparently, we have one of those as well. I haven't been on Facebook in years. But we're all across all those. And so if you're in the Discord, we take fan Discord questions every week. And I'll start with this one. This one's from Woody the Duck. Do aliens exist?
Absolutely.
Yes.
They have to, right?
Absolutely.
They have to.
We can't be alone.
We cannot. There is no way in this entire. Come on, let's be real. We're like
Right?
we're one of billions of galaxies in this world.
I
You know
had
what?
some. Go
I
ahead.
don't want to get all controversial on this one, but
Go.
we just had a rocket that just went back. Went to the moon. Wasn't nobody in it,
Go on.
and we did this like how many years ago? 50, 60 years ago, when
Yo,
people were in it.
With slide rules. Like there weren't even like modern calculators.
Oh, you think it's fake?
They had the tape, right? They had the
It's
I'm
crazy.
just saying, I'm not no flat earther or all that. I'm just saying, let's just be real. Like how technology, I remember like 10 megabytes was like a whole entire storage room, and now it's like nothing. And they went to the moon, and we hadn't been back since then. And then we go there now, and then there's just the rocket. Ain't nobody up in that mother.
Well, I don't think we want to go to the moon, Ray. We're trying to get to Mars. We're not spending money to go back to the moon. We've already been there. We know what it is. It's just a big kind of gray rock. Yeah, I think
that was like we went like to Las Vegas. It wasn't like
I live in Vegas.
but I'm just saying it wasn't like we went to like Pakistan or Texas, like a big place. It was just like a little spot on the moon. We don't know. All right, never mind.
I don't know. Listen, I went to dinner with Buzz Aldrin. Okay.
Oh my
What?
God! Every
What?
single time I've known Josh for
You went
probably 5 years.
Okay,
Every
I want to hear this story.
single
Yeah, I want to hear it.
time I talk to him, he says something else that just blows my mind super casually. Like, oh yeah, I just went to dinner with Buzz Aldrin. What?
Hold
Earlier
on,
today, he was like, yeah.
Go ahead,
please.
No, go ahead. Keep talking. I got something. Go ahead.
I
Keep
mean,
talking.
earlier in a conversation today, we were talking about Clint Eastwood's son, and he's like, "Oh yeah, it was in my wedding." I brought it up in the conversation, and he just happens to be. It is wild. Literally 5 years later, it's incredible.
What did he drink? What did he drink?
He's not a
Or
he's not a
Tang?
drinker. Tang, a little bit of powder Tang. He was drinking Deez's favorite drink, the LaCroix or LaCroix, if you're fancy.
LaCroix.
You mean water?
Yeah, you mean
Fun.
water. If you go to
Water.
Deez's house, he will not give you flat water. He's only
We'll
giving
give you
LaCroix.
that bubbly.
Those are
shit.
your
Oh,
options. I'll give you
yeah.
6 different flavors, but you're drinking soda water.
100%.
We're all out of
so we go to this dinner party, and I get seated next to Buzz Aldrin, and we start talking. He's wearing silver, they look like moon boots, to be honest with you. He's got American suspenders, like America suspenders, like that kind of stuff, right? And we start talking, And I said to him, I said, one of the greatest videos I've ever seen is when you punch that guy.
Hell yeah, that's what I was going to ask.
On Rodeo Drive, who says that you didn't land on the moon. And he goes, well, how insulted would you be if your entire life's work was pulled into question by some jackass on the internet? And I said, yeah, I would be pretty pissed about it too. And he's like, let me tell you how we landed on the moon. And he rode me through the whole thing. Dude, I'm telling you, there's details in there. There's no way you can make up. There's no way that you can make up that he went to the moon. The scientific evidence that they went to the moon is beyond argument. And Buzz Aldrin was awesome too. And here's the best part. About halfway into the dinner, he took a phone call on speakerphone for 25 minutes.
That's a gangster move.
Baller move. I'm trying to find the picture of me and Buzz Aldrin.
Gentlemen, I'm having some connectivity issues. I'm getting you every other word. I'm going to try and reboot and reset and unplug some things. I am coming back, so I will be right back.
Got it.
So he punched the guy in the face.
Who questioned him. Yeah, he's
walking down the street, and the guy goes, "You never went to the moon." He was like, "Boom,
boom!" Like the guy got in his face. He was like, "You're a liar. You're a liar. It's totally a lie. You didn't do it." And he was like, "I'm not having any of that." Pow! And he's like,
"You know who else did that?"
Yeah.
Now that we're coming around Christmas, Saint Nicholas.
Santa Claus.
Yeah. Oh, I thought I was the only one at the Council of Nicaea. There he is. Oh,
that's me
Santa
and Buzz
Claus.
Aldrin.
Oh,
that's me and Buzz.
Hey,
nice.
listen. Listen. I wish Buzz would walk up on me. It's rude.
What would he ask you?
I'm gonna just say, I'm gonna stick with my gun. I normally don't do that. I normally don't go in on something, but that's one of those things that I'm like, can't do it.
Wow.
Sorry.
Wow. All right, let's do a few more questions here, and then I'm going to do some trivia, especially written for Aaron Casillas. Okay.
No, I'm gonna
come on. This is amazing.
Here we go.
Oh, man,
Deez is back. Let's go.
Yeah, I am.
Okay.
We'll see how long I'm back. Let's go.
Okay, if this is from Freedom Fighter, if we did a limited run fan-controlled esports starring the podcast crew, what game would you dominate the others at?
Street Fighter 2. The answer is Street Fighter 2.
Wow.
Knowing Josh and just knowing Aaron, like, first of all, I think I've told the story on the podcast. I used to dominate at my local golf and stuff in Tucson, Arizona. I would put one quarter up, I would get in, and I would last for 40 or 50 rounds. And I played as Ken. And if you know Ken's throw, he grabs people by their gear, whatever, and then backflips and throws them. And so I would say every time, take a ride on the Kenny coaster, as I would throw them over and over and over. So my answer to that's a great question. And I think just knowing Josh's capabilities and knowing Aaron, I think we would crush at Street Fighter. Come on. Ray would be in the corner with the E-Honda, like 1,000-hand slap.
I don't want to say that I'm the greatest Guile user ever, but me as Guile with the Sonic Boom is unlike any other. I'm really good with Guile.
I'll say it. I have no doubt. You don't throw that around lightly.
Casillas,
wait, okay, so are you a better wedding dancer or Guile player?
Wedding dancer, because there isn't anybody like me. Yeah.
Okay, fair. All right.
Is that the same thing? Wedding dancer or the party starter? Is that the same thing? The party.
It's basically molded into one.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Ray, if you were a video game, what would we be playing? Right? Like, what would we dominate at? What do you think? Ray's pretty damn good at Blitz.
I would say, I was gonna say probably like you and me, probably Contra. You and I could.
Okay.
You and I definitely. I could see you and I doing Contra. Like I would go down, you'd go up. And
is there the competitive Contra esport that's thriving right now? Yeah.
Aaron, I know, is a Double Dragon guy from back.
Double Dragon. I wanted to find out what happens at the end of the Double Dragon, so we saved up one summer, my cousin and I, and it was like $5 a quarters. Just played all the way through it. We beat everybody, but you know what happens at the end?
You get to start over.
You have to fight each other.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like all of a sudden you have to fight each other. We're looking at each other like,
that's dope. That's pretty dope.
Try to throw some elbows in there. He's like, and you get the girl, basically.
Oh my God, that's terrifying.
And to loop this around, I was playing Skyrim, and I tell this story often. And there were these two dragons on a cliff, and I was hiding behind pillars, and boop, one bow, an arrow at a time. Boop, boop. I killed them both within a minute, and I got a Double Dragon achievement. And I was like, whoa, that was like 35 years in the making to get a Double Dragon achievement. That was fucking phenomenal. I was so excited.
Damn.
But what's the game that you can compete in? Again, back to this core. Like, what is the game where we would be able to compete as a crew against other fan control leagues because there's so many other of them.
Yes.
You know
yes.
what? Any sniper game, Battlefields, all the Battlefields.
Wow.
Okay.
But I play this sniper because I can drink a beer between shots. I'm like, the bullet's still flying through the air. I'm like, oh.
I was told by Deez that he and I can drink, but that you live on another level of drinking, and that we have. And Deez is like, I've witnessed it. We are not him.
I don't know. Him and Marshall Happer.
Woo, yeah, Marshall Happer can drink beers, man.
Puts it down. He puts them beers down, man.
Yeah.
Like water. 14 whiskeys in. I was like, what is this called? Whiskey? Give me what's a pickleback? Was the first time I ever had a
picklebacks.
Pickleback.
Delicious.
Legend.
Ooh, that's good. That's good.
It was like silver. It was like drinking mithril or something.
All right, let's we got a couple more here. If you could, this comes from Woody the Duck. If you could break any record in pro sports by one, what would it be? I would say mine would be Will Chamberlain, 101 points. Give me 101 points in an NBA game and just call it 101.
For me, being a defensive back, I'd say interceptions.
Okay.
In a game or in a season?
Career?
I would say career.
Career.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. All right. What is the record? Hold on. Do you know, Ray?
I know it's like a white dude, man. For like, I think he played for the Vikings, and then I think it's like, I mean, I know Aeneas Williams is up there. I think it's a white guy from like the Vikings.
Paul Krause.
Paul Krause.
Damn,
Vikings,
81
right?
interceptions.
Vikings?
Yeah.
81. It was like 80 something. It was crazy. Yeah. Yep.
Damn. Yeah. Emlyn Tunnel is at 79. And then Rod Woodson. Rod Woodson.
Yep. And then Ennis should be like 5 or something like that. Ennis Williams.
So Josh, I would probably have gone for points, but I think if I weren't points in a game, it would be assists. So Scott Skiles of the Orlando Magic fame, 30 in a game, and like 28 of them were just going like this to Shaq. No, you just dunk it. Just get it. Go, big man. Incredible game if you go back and watch the game. But like, I would love to. I mean, again, also Ray, he's a white dude, so I feel like it's doable. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
30 assists in a game.
I chose the 7-foot black man. So, yeah. Aaron, what do you got?
I think I would go with PGA golf tours, Tiger Woods. But I would want that ball to like just be teetering on the cup right before it goes in.
You want that? You want that? So you want to break the all-time tournament record, or you want to all-time scoring record?
He's got 82 right now.
82.
Right?
Yeah.
And I'm horrible at golf, by the way, but it's just fantasy, you know.
Damn, so. I didn't even think. I went. Yeah. Ah, man. To be Tiger Woods in his prime as a golfer, good Lord. Okay.
Josh,
yeah, I love golf. It's my favorite thing. Deez knows that I bring it up all the time.
It's true.
All right, we'll end with this one, and then we'll play some trivia. This one comes from our buddy Nerdy. He plays best Thanksgiving meal side item. If anybody says anything but stuffing, they're wrong.
Oh, are you kidding me? I mean, cranberry sauce?
Cranberry sauce. It's cranberry sauce.
You got salty everywhere. That you just take a little slice of that, push you right back on board. I'm back on.
A slice of cranberry. You heard what you just said.
I think you're not wrong. I think cranberry is the MVP. It's what makes Thanksgiving. You can make a case for stuffing anytime. You can't have Thanksgiving without cranberry.
You can have bad stuffing. You can't have bad cranberry.
No, man. We got a recipe here. We put cranberries in it and it crunches.
Well, the cranberries are spoiled. It'd be the worst thing ever, right, Ray?
So,
hey, I feel you on them greens, but greens is I get you. That's a staple. That's not what you need that cranberry to
that's one of the pillars. You can make a case for sweet potatoes too.
Sweet potatoes, yeah.
You can make a case for it.
Yeah. I thought I knew you guys. I really did. And here I get thrown freaking.
Oh, look, I think stuffing is on the Mount Rushmore of food.
You talking about
it's not a good food.
You mean the stuff that you put in the turkey's ass? You telling me you rather that than the
frictionless, Ray?
Frictionless. No, that's not friction.
Frictionless, a lot of friction. Ray. Friction. list.
Okay.
Wow. Okay. All right. Let's do a little trivia. Thanks to everybody for watching. I know we've been on the front page of Twitch here. A lot of new eyes, not a lot of new ears. So thank you. This is Fan Controlled Sports and Entertainment. We're a real life video game. Fan Controlled Football. Fans call the plays direct from our app, and soon to be Fan Controlled Hoops, where you'll be able to light up the first ever LED basketball court. All from our state-of-the-art app coming soon, being developed, run, and created by the man on this call, Aaron Casillas, as well as P to the Deed, aka Patrick Dees, and the commissioner of football himself right here, Ray Austin. I'm just a lowly guy that hangs out and talks into a microphone on broadcast, does rock, paper, scissors.
Freddie,
that kind of stuff.
Freddie Airmail, did you just say mashed potatoes?
Oh, Freddie.
Oh,
Freddie.
man, that's a distant.
That's
So
just
yeah, and by the
there.
way, I mean to add, like Josh, Twitch is our home, right? Like again, this
Twitch
is
is our
the
home.
Primus. This is where you find everything Fan Control Sports and Entertainment. You can find us on NBCLX, and we're on Peacock, we're on DAZN, Fubo. We're all over the place. But again, this is the prime Fan Control experience where we're here engaging with the community. You're using our app, you're calling plays, you're controlling the action in Fan Control hoops. It's NBA Jam in real life. It's NFL Blitz in real life hard-hitting athletes, hard-dunking athletes that are controlled by you, the fans.
Yes, and there is no kickoffs. It is rock, paper, scissors, and there's no tip-offs. It is also rock, paper, scissors. I read that video today. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Nothing like it. All right, here we go. Aaron, this is how Josh McCouga, Josh Birdie style trivia works, okay? These are all either-or questions, okay?
Either
I better
or.
jump. This has been an absolute blast.
Oh,
I've gotta
Jesus,
go.
leaving, huh?
I've got to leave.
Jesus,
Sorry, guys.
leaving.
This has been incredible. Thanks for hanging out. We will, Aaron, I love that you swung by. We'll catch the rest of
Yeah,
you
I
in
love
chat
it.
and listening live.
Yeah.
We'll catch you next week.
You're the
Not
best.
next week. Sometime soon. Thanks,
Sometime
guys.
soon.
Power to the fans.
Power to the fans. Patrick Dees, founder of the league, legend, absolute legend.
Yeah.
Jim, hit that 3 box. Oh, are we gonna do a little fan controlled spotlight trivia here? Okay,
Wait a minute.
I like
Wait,
it. I like
Makuga,
it.
you haven't told us who your superhero is, because I know Ray is
Oh.
the Hulk. I'm Spidey. Who are you?
It's not even close. It's the Hulk.
You're the Hulk also?
I'm the Hulk.
We can't make the Avengers with 2 Hulks.
Sorry, guys.
Wait. Did you tell me there's a red Hulk too, though, right? So
There's a Gray Hulk. Yeah, those are the Hulks, I guess.
So
She-Hulk.
listen, Ray and I are both bald. One of us played professional football. The other one's Ray Austin. I'm kidding.
we're the same guy. Look, we're literally the same.
The same
dude.
guy.
One of us has a beard. The other one also a beard. No,
Well, why don't you guys could be like Quaid? Like, remember Quaid from Total Recall? Quaid.
yeah, okay,
Oh, yeah.
okay.
Turns the
okay.
Hulk and like,
Yeah.
yeah.
No, Ray's Black Hulk. I'm Italian Hulk. You know what I mean? Lou Ferrigno. Lou Ferrigno was huge in our house. My parents were like, "Hey, the Hulk's Italian. He's
Yeah.
Italian."
We all knew Hulk was a brother. When he got big like that, we was like, nah, that's a brother.
That's a brother.
You know, we know that's Wolverine, but that's a brother right there, dog.
Have you seen the trailer for Creed 3 yet? Have you seen it?
I have not, but I heard dude is jacked.
Jacked.
I heard he
Oh
was
my
jacked
God.
up. Yeah. I saw a picture of him,
Holy
so yeah.
cow. That's Hulk right there. But for me, the story goes that my mom went to work one day. I think I was in the 2nd grade. My brother was in the 4th grade. And we found all kinds of paint and markers around our house and painted me green. And it didn't come off for weeks. Did not come off my body for weeks. I always wanted to be the Hulk. I like smashing things. I like being able to it just Hulk, man. It's the Hulk. He's the best.
Hulk smash.
Hulk smash.
Hulk
Okay.
smash.
Here's trivia. So your
Somebody's
first
asking. Hey, sorry, someone was asking when the season starts.
season of football will
It's
start
not.
in the spring, and the
Yeah.
season of basketball will start in the summertime.
That's
So
right.
coming soon. All those dates will be announced very soon. And our first football tryout is January 10th and 11th in
It's in LA.
Los Angeles, California.
Woo woo.
All right, Aaron, here's how trivia works. These are either or questions. You're going to go against the commissioner, Ray Austin. Okay, these are famous luchador wrestlers or just guys I made up.
All
Okay.
right.
Here we go.
I got a chance then.
Yeah, here we go. We start with Aaron Casillas. Aaron, Dr. Wagner Jr.
It's true.
That is a luchador wrestler, Dr.
Yeah.
Wagner Jr.
Dr.
All
All right.
right. How fast he answered that.
All right. Ray, Felix Superior.
False.
Yeah, I made that one up. That's it.
Oh, that's it. That's all you gotta do. Just answer it quick.
There we go. Aaron, Gargantuna.
True.
Nope, that's false. Made him up.
That's
All right,
that's something you had at Thanksgiving, huh?
yeah, correct. Yeah.
Pass me the gargantula, please.
Gargantuna.
Pass me the gargantula.
Okay. Ray, is this real or fake luchador? Super crazy.
Yes.
Yeah, that's 2-1 Ray. Here we go. Aaron Casillas, Flamita.
False.
Nope, that's a real guy. That's a real wrestler.
Man,
Okay. Ray, El Misto Corazontes.
Yes.
No,
See.
I made him up. I made him up.
No.
Why did Ray do that next thing? You're like checking it out.
All right, Aaron, Dragon Lee.
That has to be real, dude.
That is real. It's tied up 2-2. Give it to him.
That's an awesome name, Dragon.
It's sick.
That's like Bruce Lee, right?
It is. Or one of the brothers, Billy and Johnny Lee in Double Dragon.
Like my Bruce Lee shoes.
Okay, Ray Austin. El Sagredo.
Grado.
I think Ray's looking at my face to see if
Yeah.
I just play poker
That's
face.
fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
what is that?
Yeah. Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
correct. It's El Sagredo's real. El Sagredo's
What?
real. 3-2, Ray.
What does it
3-2.
mean?
I don't know. The sacred one, I think.
You said it wrong. It's sagrado.
Okay. Oh, Sagrado.
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 Yeah.
Okay. Aaron Casillas.
It's Italian, isn't it?
It's
like a Latin word. Sagrado.
Mil Mascaras.
Oh, that's easy. Yes.
Yes.
Mil
Okay.
máscaras.
Tied 3-3. Ray finally to go 4-3 into a second category. Sucor Extido.
Nah.
Yeah, I made him up. 4-3, hanging into.
What was that?
I can play you with some poker here, and I swear.
Yeah, I know. But I'm trying to understand Makuga's pronunciation. What were you trying to say?
Sucor Extido. I just started putting letters together and made it sound
Sucor exterior.
Latin. Yeah. Okay,
That's
here we go.
That's frictionless right there.
Frictionless right there, bud. Okay, we've been talking about video games and all this kind of stuff. So I basically, this is a Josh Makuga opinion round of trivia. Here we go. These are Oscar nominated movies that I think should have been video games. You either think I think these are a good idea or a bad idea. Okay.
Oh, this is good. Okay.
This is good. This is good. I'm already laughing.
Morgan Freeman and Jessica Tandy in Driving Miss Daisy, the video game. Ray, is that a good idea or a bad idea?
Bad idea.
Yeah, terrible. I don't even know what that video game would be. I think it's pretty rough.
What's the win condition?
It
How do you
actually
win?
could have been a little like GTA and then in a white neighborhood, right?
These are the car. I gotta go hang out with the homies. Stay in the car.
All the shit he got to
Like,
deal with,
yeah.
man. Be like, man, shit, I was going 10 miles an hour.
Hey, yo, bag, get out of the car. All right, here we go.
The
Ray,
homies pile in the back. Like, she's like, ah! Like, no, we gotta go somewhere right now. We're going to a
right.
party.
5-3, Ray. Aaron, is this a good idea for a video game? Tom Hanks is sort of on the spectrum, but he is fast. It's Forrest Gump, the video game.
I think it would be awesome, but it would be lots of content. I mean, he goes so many different places. It's gonna be nuts.
Hey, you keep
It'd be like
leveling up.
mini-games. It'd be like
Keep
little
leveling up.
mini experiences all the time.
Is that a yes or no, Aaron?
Yes or no?
C. It would
Yes,
be a
I love Forrest Gump, the video game. Can you imagine how much running you could do with the guy?
Come
Yeah,
on,
he's
you get a different
everywhere.
experience, and then you lose your
This is really
HP.
good. No, I get
Yeah,
that.
you lose your health, and you're like, I gotta get some chocolates. I gotta
Exactly.
Get some chocolates.
Life is like a box of
Come on.
So he
chocolates.
ran
All
a
right.
kickoff return on Alabama in Alabama.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
All right. 5-4. Ray Austin. Leonardo DiCaprio is not the star of the video game.
Ooh.
It's the bear. Revenant, the video.
remember that
Ray, is
scene?
that a good idea for a video game?
Blink if you're hurt.
No.
So-
No.
Oh, come on. You get to play a bear. You're just a bear eating people the entire game. You get a thirst for human flesh and you just keep eating.
You're like, No, the bear's watching the whole movie from the side. He's like, what did I do?
Yo, who's your audience? Bears? Who's
Hey,
going to
Ray,
watch you?
Come on, Steve, right now, there's some cat simulators you can play. You can be a cat. You could be, wolves.
See?
You
Yep.
can be a bear simulator.
You can be a bear, Ray.
Yeah.
Finally.
Okay.
All right.
Bear.
Still 5-4. Aaron Casillas, it's a VR game. You're just man on a wire.
VR game, man on a wire. I wouldn't make it. I wouldn't want to
Nah.
play it.
I mean, it seems a little just
It's
average.
a gimmick. It's a gimmick.
Yeah. It's a gimmick,
Yeah.
right?
You'd watch
Okay.
your friends like, for like 30 minutes and be like,
Right,
You're like, when
right,
is it my turn? I want to play. How do you
Right.
co-op? You grab the rope on the other side. You're like, oh, I'm going to get you off this thing right now.
Yeah, you got to hold on. All right,
The-
tied up
the-
5-5.
The bear's at the bottom going,
That sounds like a dope game. That's all. That's actually better than getting eaten up.
The bear's waiting for you.
Bears versus man on wire.
Yeah.
And I'm doing this, and I'm doing an Oculus.
Oh.
Watching that people do that would be freaking awesome.
For 30
Okay.
minutes. Hey, Dre, you got that wire. It takes like 30 minutes to cross those wires. You ever
See?
see them? You just sit
They're
there.
running into the wall by then. It's the whole point. Like run
But
your
what
friend
about-
into the wall. Bow.
There's no co-op unless someone's coming on the other side of the wire. Like you're gonna meet up in the middle.
All right, next one. It's all tied up. It's all tied up. 5-5. All right, Ray. He's a pimp. Low on his luck,
Already
but he's a
love it. Yes. Right.
That's awesome. I love
All
that.
right, let's go. I
Hustle
won.
and Flow video
Yeah.
game. You got it. Hustle and Flow the video game. Yes, sir. You got to make an album while keeping your thriving prostitute business alive. All right. 6-5, Ray. Clint Eastwood, Aaron. Clint Eastwood. Stomp that hoe. Whoop that trick. Okay, here we go. Aaron Casillas, Clint Eastwood stars alongside Hilary Swank in $1 Million Baby, the video game.
I don't even remember $1 Million Baby, the movie.
It's just female boxing, basically.
Well, yeah, it was female boxing, right?
So it's just a female boxing game with Clint Eastwood in your corner yelling at you.
Oh, I thought you played Clint Eastwood.
No.
You're sitting there going like training. There's been so many boxing games that have been made already. Like, what are we doing that's different here? Other than
Women?
female?
It's females boxing. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, that's-
Angry women boxing. Yeah.
Well, look, there's a lot of sides to making video games. One of them is the business. Like, is there an audience behind this thing that would buy this?
That's a good
Be a
point.
bunch of guys.
I didn't
Maybe.
think of business. I just thought of it. Would it be fun?
Boxing's fun. So the boxing part is fun. I don't know if it'll make millions.
I think it actually would be fun, and you could pick different characters. Like maybe you could do Beyonce against Taylor Swift. Or,
See, there you go.
Rosie O'Donnell against Amy Schumer, or that shit would be dope as hell.
Okay.
I think so.
Okay. I like it.
And they all had different, some of them scratch, some of them like pow, and some of them
Yeah.
like,
Lot of
some
kicking.
here. That'd be dope as fuck. Like you could buy different like skills to do,
Ruthless Cutie says Kanye versus everyone.
Kanye versus everyone.
Freddie Airmail says, what's the plot of the Ink and Toner video game, Ray? I think it's just two cops who can't figure it out.
Yeah, no, every stage you go to like a different neighborhood, and then like I walk in a place, and then you see how they react to me, and then he walks into a place. Like we go to a black club, and we like, what do you order? And then the person comes like, what do you order? They look at me, I tell them my drink, and then they look at him, and he goes, Patron.
Patron. You said order Patron. There you go.
And then and then he goes to the next level. And then I go to a neighborhood, then I go to a party, and then what do I bring? Do you bring, Coke?
Cheese?
Coke meaning like Coca-Cola.
Do you know there's a game that Mafia was like that?
Yeah. And then or you bring cheese.
Yeah.
And then I bring cheese, and then
A Ray charcuterie board? I mean, come on.
Ray charcuterie. The Mafia,
I think
Mafia 3
Ink and Toner, and to be fun, like just to be honest and be like we're laughing at this. We always me and Josh talked about this. It's like just to talk about the ridiculousness of the both of cultures. What other just putting that other person in that culture, and how awesome would it be?
We just get each episode. Your culture gets blacker and blacker. Mine gets whiter and whiter. And how fun, how like awful can we make it stereotype wise? We just put each other.
Good.
You got to level up if you.
You got to level up.
You
You know what I'm
gotta level
saying?
up.
And
Yeah.
it's like you go to college and you see football teams and all these guys playing. You're in these locker rooms with all these great people. And you got people from the hood. You got people from the north side, the east side, the south side. And you all play together and have the best time. You got some of those guys are my best friends. So
They gotta have a mechanic. Can you read the tagging on the wall?
Yeah. Oh.
Oh.
Okay.
Read it. You're like, no, we gotta go. And the other guy's like, what do you mean? Like, no, man. They cross
All right,
the
we
game
gotta-
out.
We got to wrap this up here pretty quick. Let's
Whoa.
rapid fire these last couple, and then I just got a couple of ideas for what we can put on the LED basketball court, and you have to say yes or no, Aaron. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Ooh, that's
Fine.
good. Yeah.
It's all tied up 6-6. Ray, A Beautiful Mind. Russell Crowe trying to deal with his inner demons. The video game.
Yes.
Done and done. I don't know how it works, but I like it. All right. This one's especially for you, Aaron Casillas. Leaving Las Vegas. You have to drink all of the booze in Las Vegas before it explodes. Nicolas Cage is leaving Las Vegas.
I say yes. I think that would be awesome.
Done and done. All right. Ray, it's tied 7-7. Thelma and Louise, the video game.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. Going across the country, shooting up dudes. And then finally, Aaron Casillas, The Shape of Water. You got to figure out how to have sex with the fish guy.
What?
No. Too much friction.
That movie, I can't. The fact that movie won an Academy Award blows my effing mind. Blows my mind. It's so creepy. The woman has sex with a fish guy.
That is the weirdest.
It's the weirdest.
I couldn't even go.
All right.
Watch it. It was-
Finally.
What's my motivation?
What is your motivation? Sex with a fish guy.
Go
All
on,
right.
Sushi.
Aaron,
Yeah.
these are my ideas for what we can put on the basketball court. You can either say yes or no. Ray, you think this is a good idea or a bad idea? Okay.
Okay.
Here we go.
Go.
Landmines in the court that are hidden, and if you step on them, that player is eliminated for a minute. Ray, what do you think? Good
Oh.
idea, bad idea?
I think it's a great idea.
Aaron, can we do it?
It can be done, but I don't think it's a great idea.
Thank you, man.
Burn.
No,
Okay.
think about it, because then all of a sudden you got no players.
That's well, it would just be
It's just one team.
No. You can no. Hold up. No. Hold on. Depending on what type of game it is, you end up one-on-one, and it's just one-on-one. It's at the end, and it's just like boom,
So the
boom,
mines
boom.
go away.
No. I score a point, and then my guy comes in, and you score a point. My other guy.
glitter mine, says Ruthless Cutie. I like it. Okay.
See?
Okay. How about this one? At halftime, Aaron, we put a magic eye on the whole basketball court, and the first person to see it wins all kinds of merch.
Magic guy?
Magic
You know,
guy?
like the magic, like the old magic eye paintings, and you had to like stare at it, and then like a ship
Oh,
would fall
magic
down?
guy? Oh, I thought you meant like a magician.
No, I would love
We
a
could do
magician.
magic. We could do magic with the LED court. That'd be awesome.
See,
Oh, that is. I think that would be a good idea.
Ray.
Doing some type of
thoughts?
magic show with the LED
Yeah.
court.
doesn't like
I don't even know how you can do it, so it makes no sense.
He doesn't like it. All right, Aaron, how about this? A fake, okay, you have a digital fake koi pond that ripples when players run on it, and we can light up koi fish for them to shoot from.
Off-brand, no.
Okay,
Yeah,
all right. Okay.
agreed.
But that, you know what? I just thought of another great idea. This is what inspiration is about. We could do fan control fishing
Oh,
Yeah.
with rods, and then
Yeah.
there's fish down there, and then you're pulling a digital fish out.
Oh,
Yeah.
snap.
that.
Okay.
Yeah.
We could actually give something to like our sports, our shot trackers to people in the stands and have those people
Yes.
in the pond.
Yes.
And then whoever brings out the fish ends up winning.
Boom.
Oh, that's
Yes.
I love that.
There you
That's
go.
great.
Okay.
$1
How about-
billion idea.
That's
Can
cool.
we patent that before someone steals
Done deal.
Done
Let's
and
do
done.
it. We
it?
done.
All right. How about this? The court fills up with nacho cheese. Players get lit up as chips, like under their feet, and they have to scoop up the cheese, and it's brought to you by Tostitos.
We love sponsorship, so I'm gonna say yes.
Ray hates that one. I told you.
No.
He likes it. He likes it.
That would be some shit that we would do. We would totally
Yeah,
do
we just
something like that. So,
Okay.
yeah,
I would get it. I would get it last minute too. Like,
Yeah,
just
I like
Tito's
it.
has got a sponsorship.
And then finally, here's my last one. Okay, players' parents yell at each other during it's a family vacation road trip on the bench, and fans control what they get to argue about. And it's like, like my parents are just yelling. I'm like, oh my god, it's like take that. And like we're trying to psych out the players. Like we get those players, and like, oh my god, my mom and dad are here. But instead of watching their kid play, they're yelling on the sidelines like they're in a car cross country, like on a family road trip.
I'd like to morph that idea where the parents are yelling at their kid or their son. You're horrible.
Yeah.
You're roasting them.
You've never amounted to anything. Yeah, like they roast their kids.
You'll never score.
Right?
I met about 40% of the parents that come see our players, and none of them would do that. So
no, I know.
Yeah, so no.
My parents might.
My dad would. But my dad.
Well, this has been fun, gentlemen. A little extra show here. Thank you to Twitch. This is guest star week. # guest star week on Twitch. We're using the guest star feature. It's fun, right?
Yeah, I like this way better than what we're using. I'm just saying that right now. So
all right,
this
Boom.
This is
professional hecklers.
Way better.
Exactly. Professional hecklers. I pitched that idea as part of the broadcast.
Professional hecklers.
We'll see how that goes, right?
Oh my god.
We're here every single Thursday, 2:30 p.m. Pacific. Fan Controlled Sports and Entertainment. Subscribe to the channel. Tell all your friends. Fan Controlled Football and Fan Controlled Hoops coming in 2023. Josh McCouga, the Commissioner Ray Austin, the Head of Gaming Aaron Casillas. Special thanks to Jeff Kanata and Patrick Dees who are here. We'll be off next week for Thanksgiving. We'll probably do some fun video content all next week, but we will be back the week after on December 3rd. Until then, Jim, take us off. Power to the fans. Power to the fans.
Hey, Aaron.
Hey.